$500,000, that is what most retirees enter retirement with. In 2008, the S&P 500 dropped 38%. A retiree with $500,000 in the market that year woke up with $307,550. If she was pulling $3,000 a month for living expenses, she was now pulling 11.7% from a shrinking pile. The math never recovers. There is a way to take $100,000 of that nest egg and put it somewhere the market can't touch. I'm going to show you exactly how it works, the real numbers, the real trade-offs, and who this is right for and who this is not right for, because this is not for everybody. That was 2008. In 2022, the S&P 500 dropped another 18%. $500,000 became $409,450. Two crashes in 14 years. Both times, retirees who were pulling income from the account faced the same problem. Now, when you're working, a market drop is a paper loss. The account recovers and you keep going. When you are retired and pulling income from the account, a market drop is a real loss. Every dollar you pull out during a down market is a dollar that never recovers. That is called sequence of returns risk. The first 5 years of retirement are the most dangerous years in your financial life. A 30 to 40% drop during those 5 years can change the entire timeline of your retirement. The math never recovers. The fear of watching your account drop in the first year of retirement is not paranoia. It is statistically reasonable, and it is solvable. I'm Chris Duncan. I've been helping retirees with Medicare and retirement income planning for nearly 20 years. The number one fear I hear is running out of money. What most retirees don't know is that a 30% drop in year one of retirement is one of the fastest ways that happens. Sequence of returns risk is not a theory. I've watched it happen, and I've watched the income floor strategy prevent that. Here's what makes this different from a 401k or an individual retirement account invested in the stock market. The product is called a fixed indexed annuity. It is an insurance contract. Very important word. It's a contract. It's not a stock. It's not a bond, not a mutual fund, a contract between you and an insurance company. Here is the mechanism. If you put $100,000 into a fixed indexed annuity today and the S&P 500 drops 40% next year, your index credit for that year is zero, not negative 40%. Zero. That is not a sales pitch. That is how the contract works. The contract has what is called a 0% index crediting floor. When the index goes up, your account is credited a portion of the gain, subject to a cap rate or a participation rate. When the index goes down, your index credit is zero, not negative. It's zero. Today's cap rates on S&P 500 annual point-to-point strategies range from 9 to 12% depending on the carrier. That means if the S&P 500 returns 15% in a year, your account credits 9% to 12%. If the S&P 500 drops 15%, your account credits zero. The market goes up, you participate. The market goes down, you sit out. When the market drops, your account does not drop. There's one important distinction the industry doesn't always explain clearly. The 0% floor applies to your index credit. Does not mean your account value is completely untouched in every situation. A fixed index annuity has internal costs. If the contract has an income rider, there is typically an income rider cost charged annually against your account value. That cost usually ranges from about 0.95% to about 1.25% per year, depending on the contract. So in a year where the index credit is zero, your account value can decline slightly because of the cost of the guarantee. The market is not touching your account value. The cost of the guarantee is. But here is what matters. The market crashed 38% in 2008. The S&P 500 took until 2013 to fully recover. A retiree in a fixed indexed annuity that year saw an income rider cost of around 1%. A retiree in the S&P 500 saw a 38% drop. That is the difference between a cost and a crash. When the market drops, your account doesn't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is perfect for everyone. It isn't. Here are the trade-offs you need to understand before putting any money into this product. There are surrender charges. If you put money into a fixed index annuity and need it back in year 2, you pay a surrender charge. First year surrender charges typically range from 8 to 10% depending on the contract. Remember, these are contracts, so it's all set up beforehand. Surrender charges decline over 7 to 10 years. This is not a savings account. Do not put money here that you need to access in the next 5 to 10 years. Like I mentioned, cap rates can limit your upside. If the market goes up 20% and you have a cap rate of 10%, you get 10%, not 20%. You didn't lose anything, you just didn't capture all of the gains. That is the trade-off for the floor. Liquidity is limited. Most fixed index annuities allow you to withdraw up to 10% of your account value per year without surrender charges. Beyond 10%, the surrender charge applies. These are real costs. Anyone who tells you there are no trade-offs is not giving you the full picture. So why do retirees choose this product? Because of something called an income floor. There are only 3 sources of guaranteed retirement income: Social Security, pensions, and fixed annuities. That is the list. Most retirees today don't have a pension, so there's a gap between what Social Security pays and what monthly expenses cost. An income floor strategy uses a portion of your savings, often around $100,000, in a fixed indexed annuity. The rest of your savings stays liquid and diversified. The annuity covers the floor. The liquid money handles everything else. Here's what changes when your floor is covered. You stop checking the stock market every morning. A 30% drop doesn't threaten your grocery bill. The money in the market is free to recover because you are not forced to sell at a loss to pay your bills. I'm a retirement income certified professional. The income floor concept is core to that training. Building a floor before you need it is one of the most important decisions a retiree can make. I did not learn this from a YouTube video. I studied it, I tested it, and I have watched it work for retirees who built their floor before the market crashed. As I get older, that is what I want for my own retirement. Not more money in the market, more certainty that the floor is covered no matter what the market does. Pre-retirees, same $500,000, same retirement date, same year, but the market drops 38%. Here comes 3 completely different outcomes. Retiree 1 put the full $500,000 in the stock market. The market dropped 38%. Her account dropped to $307,550. She was pulling $3,000 a month for living expenses. That $36,000 a year now represented an 11.7% withdrawal rate from a shrinking account. The math never recovers. She's not running out of money in some specific year. She's running out of options. Retiree 2 heard about a 5% CD and put the full $500,000 in cash. The market dropped 38% and his account did not move. But every year, the bank sent him a 1099 INT. He paid ordinary income tax on the interest every year. Inflation at 3% means his $3,000 monthly need becomes higher every year. The cash account never grew. He's safe at the bank, but he's losing at the register. Retiree 3 worked with someone who ran the math first. Put $100,000 into a fixed indexed annuity for the floor. Kept $400,000 in a diversified portfolio of investments and short-term cash for liquidity. The market dropped 38%. The $100,000 in the annuity credited 0. The $400,000 in the market dropped along with everything else. But she didn't pull from the market during the down year. She pulled from the cash bucket. When the market recovered, the $400,000 recovered with it. The $100,000 in the annuity captured gains in the recovery years up to the cap. Her floor was intact the entire time. Same $500,000, same crash, three completely different outcomes. The difference is not how much they saved, it's how they structured what they saved. Retiree one is not foolish. That person did exactly what the financial industry told them to do. Put it in the market and write it out. Nobody warned her about sequence of returns risk in the first 5 years of retirement. Retiree two is not careless. He saved his whole life and wanted safety. Nobody showed him that safe at the bank still costs him every year through inflation and taxes. Retiree three had someone who looked at the whole picture and built a plan where the floor was covered before the crash. The rest stayed accessible. The market dropped. Her account didn't. If you decide a fixed index annuity is right for your floor, there is one technical detail every retiree should understand before signing anything. The insurance company tracks two separate numbers inside of the contract. The account value is the actual money in the contract. That is the number that grows when the index goes up, and it stays flat when the index goes down. That is your money. The benefit base is a separate calculation the insurance company uses to determine the size of your monthly paycheck if you turn on an income rider. The benefit base is not a bank account. You can't withdraw it as a lump sum. It only exists to calculate income. Two numbers. One is your money. The other determines your paycheck if you decide to turn on the income rider. Know the difference before you sign anything. Anyone who blurs the two together is selling and not educating. We don't work for any single insurance company. We are independent and licensed in all 50 states. That means we have access to dozens of carriers and hundreds of products. We help you find the right one for your situation, not the one that pays us the highest commission. We offer a free retirement income review, no cost, no obligation. We look at your situation and walk you through the options. Go to retirewiseschool.com to schedule yours. Cap rates, participation rates, surrender charges, and income rider costs vary by carrier, product, and individual situation. Annuities are insurance products. They are not bank products. They are not FDIC insured. This is general education, not personal advice. If you are watching on your TV, scan the code on your screen with your phone. Takes you straight to retirewiseschool.com. When the market drops, your account doesn't. Now you know what $100,000 does inside a fixed indexed annuity. You are seeing two videos on your screen. One shows what $100,000 does every month for life, guaranteed. The other shows how $250,000 in a CD is losing $9,000 a year to something most retirees never calculate. Both are worth your time.